Thanks for watching. For more regularly uploaded videos, don't forget to like and subscribe.
So welcome along to the channel. Please like and subscribe our videos. It really helps us here. And what we're doing today, this is actual footage from the dashcam from a driving test that happened a couple of days ago now. I haven't seen this yet, so it's about 31 minutes long. So I'm just going to talk and react to what I see. I know the result from this. Now this driving test went out a little bit late because the exam was delayed from the previous one. So what happened there was we did the reverse bay part right at the beginning. Because he's a little bit nervous, he had to do a little bit of readjustments. He's already picked up a minor for, I saw this one in the from the test centre, so he's already picked up a minor for readjustment on the reverse bay park. And when we moved off there, he decided to move off in neutral, so he's picked up a control error for moving off from the test centre. It tends to happen if you do the manoeuvre right at the beginning, you're at your most nervous, so I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the general drive. So I'm not sure where we're going, because like always, the people always forget where they've gone. And you think they've only been out for 10 minutes, would have been out for a good 30 minutes. So it looks like a nice speed of approach here. Yeah, holding back for a vehicle there. Not the nicest weather. It just started chucking it down with rain just at the beginning. That's where I'll be going, to McDonald's for my cheeky coffee. Now I think he sort of told us that I went up to the A14, so I'm expecting to go third exit and follow the road. From the left-hand side here, it's a nasty little roundabout this is. That lorry coming around, or was that a blocker? Well, I know what the result is, so it won't be anything bad. Yeah, making good progress there. First 5 minutes is always tricky, you're always at your most nervous there. Very good idea if you practice the first 5 minutes of any direction you can go from your test centre. Almost make it like a response you're just going to drive really normally. The first 5 minutes, get used to it, and also last 5 minutes. So we're driving up here, should be going straight ahead. Yeah, looking good there. Now what I don't see, of course, now we haven't got any sound on this because legally you can't have sound on the driving test. You can't film inside the cockpit, so we're only limited to what's on the outside there. But I get to see some nice test routes. Okay, we're coming across to the right. So we're either going to go to Pytchley, 4th exit, hopefully, or A14. And what I will do as well, I'll put some directions retrospectively after this over the top. Okay, looks like a nice solid move off there, keeping up with the traffic. On these roundabouts here, don't dawdle, get a move on. If you're slow, there's more risk from behind where cars come round. They're not round these roundabouts, they're oval because it stretches over the A14. You can be undercut quite easy if you're dawdling around here. So that's the third exit. Let's have a look what we're doing. Oh, we're coming across here. We're off to Pytchley, so straight into this rural route. Weather's not the best. One of those window wipers will go on. That would help if it did. So it's a nice opportunity here. It's quite a wide open rural road. Get a move on, make progress. And this looks like a good speed down here. Always being able to stop in the distance you can see ahead, and always allowing for reasonably foreseeable hazards that might lie ahead through your observations. It could be going a little bit faster here actually. Nice open road. The thing about these dash cams, it does look slower than it really is because they're so wide angled. Vehicle on the left isn't his sign of life. He has moved out for that as a precaution. That was brilliant there. He's gone at least a door width away, so if the van door opened or whatever, really good there. Checking his speed a little bit for the corner. I'm watching this looking very comfortable looking this distance he's driving ahead. Road narrowing, a bit of a warning there. And into a 30. Now I know we picked up no minors for the general drive, so what you're seeing here is a fault-free test in terms of your independent and your driving. The only hazards he's picked up, minors he's picked up have been on the manoeuvres at the beginning of the test so far. I think it's doing 30 miles an hour. 24, 23. Yeah, there's someone in the road there. Things with cars though, that 24, the needle on the car would have been showing about 28, 29. They always tend to be about 2 or 3 miles an hour faster than they look. So if your needle does go slightly over on your driving test, don't worry so much. We've pulled up on the left here. Is this just a pull in and move off? I'm not sure. I think we're doing a controlled stop manoeuvre here. It's been too long. So the examiner explained, pulled you up on the left hand side to do the controlled stop manoeuvre. Notice it's not called emergency stop. We want to give the sign stop, bring the car to a complete stop as safely and quickly as possible. And for the purposes of this, I will make sure it's so safe for you to stop. Oh, there we go. Controlled stop there, a little bit confusing for the post office, but I think they're quite used to it. That's where they do a lot of the controlled stops along there. Now I got the result back because I booked the test for this student, and he picked up a minor for the controlled stop, so I'm not sure what it was for. Pulling up on the left hand side. This is one of the pull-ups from behind a vehicle. You'll be asked to pull in the move off about 5 times. This one specifically behind the vehicle to see you moving off from around rather than just driving off. Let's see how close we get to the car in front. The pull off when it's safe to do so. Oh, that was good. Nicely moved away. And down this road. This is Peitschy Village. We don't have the priority because all the traffic's on the left. So you have to go through a bit of caution. Van's pulled in there. Nice speed through there. So we can react to the van, pull in and have you be able to move off comfortably. Yeah, we got around the vehicle there. That was quite tight there. Well done. And we will be turning left because if you follow the road around, it's a dead end. If it's on sat-nav here, it says bare left. I mean, it's actually, so the examiner should jump in and say, actually turn left here. It's one of these things that sat-navs does in certain junctions. It just gets a bit confused about what is a junction and what is just a bend in the road. So out of the village, warning of narrowing, up ahead, national speed limit. It's a change of speed. Make sure you get those mirror checks in, centre and right, just in case someone's decided to go for an overtake. You don't want to be accelerating with them. It happens. It happens once a week, actually, because I've got L plates on. People think we're going to dawdle. Yes, it's national speed limit, but nothing says it's safe to do 60. It just means the road hasn't got a restriction on it, only up to the legal speed for the vehicle you're in. As you can see, vehicles come quite quickly. Nice speed this here. So what we're doing is showing a variance between the types of rural roads. We're going a bit faster on the wider one. This is a bit more trickier. You can also see here that the vegetation, because it's been so wet, has grown up. These hedges are normally cut back a bit more. So what would normally be a lot further distance you can see ahead is a bit restricted this time of year because the hedges haven't been cut back. We have to go a bit slower as a consequence of that. So junction up ahead. Lots of warning signs for this junction because there's been a few incidences here in the past where cars just gone shot through and then just been some really nasty collisions here. So lots of warning of the giveaway. I imagine we're going to be turning right into Broughton here. Yeah, so I think I know the test route now based on what's happened so far. And this is going to be unusual because if this is the test route I think it becomes, we don't actually go on the A14 onto the dual carriageway, which is quite unusual because we're completely surrounded by dual carriageway here at Kettering. National speed limit. Again, check our mirrors before we go into speed limits. Check your mirrors when you leave into a new speed limit as well. It is a change of speed. Make sure you're checking those mirrors, centre and right, coming in and coming out of a change of speed. So as I said, this is actually the general drive. There's going to be no faults on this drive because I booked it, I got the result back. So we can't ask for more than that. It's just watch this then. So bit of rural road. This is going to go into a fiddly little village called Broughton. See, in itself, these roads aren't that difficult, but they're quite narrow, and we could be facing bicycles, oncoming cars, agricultural stuff. It's a bit of a lottery what you can face. There's a bit of a quieter one today. Into the 30, so again checking your mirrors centre and right as you approach, getting the gear and the speed before you get to the 30 of course. Doing a fiddly little village, lots of meeting and passing opportunities here. It's quite quiet and empty for Broughton. So all the way to the end here, and we should be turning right. For yourself watching this, if you're a learner approaching test, just imagine yourself doing this drive or something similar. Are you driving this standard? Could you envisage yourself driving like that? All you're doing is you're just showing your driving skills. You don't go to test until you can drive well and drive independently. Well, you could drive independently. The only difference is legally you can't. All you're doing on test day is we're just turning up, show your driving to the examiner, and if it's good enough, you'll pass, long as you can present what you do normally. That is the test really, just checking those nerves. A little bit fiddly through this village, cars on both sides, just working our way through, communicating to other road users through our speed positioning, using the laws of priority to decide who is coming through. Now if the emergency or controlled stop hadn't been done where it was, it's often done a bit further down this village. Here's a big long stretch you put on the left hand side and be asked you to do the controlled stop. But we've already done that, so that won't be happening. And we're going to go all the way out of this village, and we'll probably be turning right onto the A43 to go back into Ketting, which is quite a tricky little junction. Yeah, working our way through here, that's good. So at the moment it's 6:15 in the morning. We've got a full day ahead of us again, teaching through to 7 o'clock tonight. So I've got up early just to do some admin and just keep on top of these videos and put them on. So do like and subscribe, please. It means I keep on doing more of them, hopefully for your benefit as well. End of the road, turning right. Now this can be a bit confusing. This is a little junction here where there's an island refuge in the middle. You can see it ahead, so really it's kind of like a junction across to the middle, then a junction across to the other side. Now the road markings can confuse people here a little bit, so it's just pausing here. This is a very fast road. This is, at this stage, this is national speed limit, or 50, I can't remember which one it is. We'll have a look in a minute. I think we went through the national speed limit, but being 6 o'clock, I missed it myself there. Waiting for an opportunity, and if you don't get up to speed, if you don't accelerate sharply, chase that vehicle down. Okay, there's a repeater there. So it's a 50-mile-an-hour road there, so you've got to get up to speed very quickly. On that road markings there, because it's at the end of the road, turn right, and there's a slip road off that road. Oh blimey, that'll be fun behind that. It gets confusing. Sometimes people come across to the right hand lane, think it's left and right there, and that is the way you come in. Well, it's not. Have a look at that junction again. It's always on the left hand side. It was a two-way road, nothing changed there. Oh, the joys to be going to Northampton, stop behind someone cutting. At least they're cutting the grass, that's the main thing. Now, this will cause impatience and all sorts of things. Good. Now your driving test could have gone the other way, And you might find, because some of the cars were back late, you might find possibly that there might be someone on test going the other way stuck behind that. If your driving test overruns, that's all it does, it overruns. That might have been why our driving test, thinking about it, why our driving test was 10 minutes late going out. So with that 10 minutes late going out, we were sat there for an extra 10 minutes in the waiting room, with the student more likely to get more anxious as waiting for time, too much time. I don't get to the test centre about a minute before the time of the test. I don't like sitting around. Following the road ahead, I'll come back to that in a second. We're following the road ahead. Now if you look here, we're probably going second exit to Kettering. Why are we going left? Aha, so you see the road markings there. That left lane is exclusively for going left. So if you get obsessed about a 12 o'clock rule, which is not a rule by the way, each roundabout is separate. Look for the road markings there. The road markings there told us to be on the right. So what obviously didn't happen was a bit of panic. If you go the wrong way in your driving test, go the wrong way. You're not marked down. You're not becoming a taxi driver. Now we come across here. Good mirror check left. Earliest opportunity. Coming across there. Hopefully there's a left indicator on. I don't know all these things, but well, it must have been because we didn't get any marks. This is what you're seeing again is a zero fault for the general drive. We've just picked up a couple of minors for right at the beginning there. So well done for doing this. You pick up a minor at the beginning, it can unsettle you a bit. We're going second exit, we're going to be following the road here. I'm not sure if this is sat nav or following board signs at this stage. I'm not sure what the independent driver. I should have asked. Now I got to see if really tucked in there. They've got to fit 2 lanes in there. It's very easy to straighten that roundabout. If you come across that lane, well, you're going to infringe. You're going to pick up faults for lane discipline. Following the road around. Okay, we've got a lorry parked up here doing some building supplies, I think. Oh no, it's one of them things. Grabber lorries. So here we're going to be quite swift to move off and get around without interfering with other traffic coming our way. So let's have a look what happens here. And that's great. Now, my student here has held back, made sure it's clear for him, and what a lot of people do, which is really bad, is what, join a car conga. If one goes out, I should just follow it out. Now, if you do that, you haven't had the line of sight. That car's only moved off for themselves, not for you. Don't join a car conga, because you can be really exposed. If that car dives in, car coming this way, you have a sudden surprise on your hand. So well done there, just for holding back and not just follow the leader. I imagine we're following the road down. Yep, so we're going to be going down to the double roundabout down the Kettering near the railway station. 3 options here. It's turning left, second exit, the first exit left up the hill, and the third exit towards the railway station. This splits into 3 lanes, so left for going left, middle lane for going up the hill, right for going to the railway station. If you've got paint on the roundabout, pick your lane, stay in lane. That's kind of the rule of thumb. Let's find out where we're going. I don't know. We'll find out. That's a good idea to slow it down at this point. Just roll it in. Take your time, giving way to the right. Okay, we're going to the railway station. Come right over to it. Very sharp in here. You can't come in quick. So cars in that second lane where the white car is now will be coming across our path. He's gone for it there. Make good progress, keeping in the lane. Follows ahead, careful of cars around from the right. Staying in the left lane. Now we indicate left to show we're coming off there. So that's the only indicator we do on that road. It's kind of like 2 lanes go straight round to the second roundabout, and it's either left up the hill or left to the railway station. A little bit of a tricky one up here. The top of the road we will be turning left, Remember, you're following the road ahead unless road markings or signs or directions tell you otherwise. Now this one catches a few people out, and it is in one of my nasty 16 junctions of Kettering as a separate video, which you should look up. Yeah, the rain's coming down. So if you look here, look, no entry sign. And that is not a giveaway, that's just an entry sign. We have to give way to traffic coming down there. So right signal, turning on. You will not be told to turn right because the no entry sign tells you otherwise. Haven't pulled over much so far, have we? I think we've only pulled over behind that one car. Oh, we're going down here. Another fiddly little road. Yeah, nice speed around there. That could have been that. Any faster than that, that could have caused an issue. There we go. Moving out. So if you have to come in and then you have to reverse as a consequence, you've gone too quick, you're going to get marked down for that. So err on the side of caution, think of the what if speed, what could happen, and drive at the speed for the reasonably foreseeable hazards that could develop, like a car coming around the corner, for example there. Now this is quite a popular road for doing the parallel park on as well. But we've already done our manoeuvre right at the beginning. Yes, just showing some caution around there. That fan's just pulled up on the left. Up to give way. I imagine we're going to go straight over here and back up to... Oh, it's about to pull over on the left. If I know much about this, there is a great big tree root that makes the great big hump there. So the tree has made its own speed hump in this road. We've pulled in there, as you can see, it's almost like a very, very hilly hill start to get over that hump. So an interesting place to pull over there. You can see, yeah, there we are. That's good. So we should be following the road ahead. So on this drive route, there's a lot of residential stuff, a lot of, really, in itself is not difficult, you're not going fast, but it's just your interaction with other road users here. This is one of the wider roads that go down here to London Road. And it's just a series of crossroads. We're told to follow the road ahead at all times, so just following. I don't think you'll get instructions to go over the crossroads, it's just literally following the road ahead is the default. Notice the change of speed. And the question here is, can you get two cars through? Can you get one car through? Depends on the vehicle. It's a bit of judgment. If you had a lorry come up here, it might be a different decision whether two can go through together and it was two cars. That's the world's shortest 20 zone. That's bizarre, isn't it? That's because there's a school outside. Now, so far we're about 20 minutes into this, maybe. Yeah, coming to the end of the road here. Now, at the end of the road, we'll be turning right, I imagine. And thinking how far we've been out, we're going to go straight back to the test centre. Now, this isn't the longest test route at all. And yes, it's slightly overran the one before, so you started a bit late. I'm just thinking to get everyone back on track, because they get the examiner back on track, they've chosen a slightly shorter route to get them back for the next person. Otherwise, if one person's late coming back, it can knock up your whole day, can't it? So now this is a tricky little road because it's kind of the main road off the A14 into Kettering town centre from junction 9 and out again. As a consequence, as you can see, there is a lot of traffic. You need to get your gap, identify your gap, and it's vital that you can move off with swiftness when it's time to go, make progress and get up to the speed of the traffic. also got a little stagger junction here as well, so you've got cars coming around from the right you've got to keep an eye of, as well as the left and right. You've got to keep an eye on the junction where that car's just turning in. So it takes the confident driver to sit there and not go and not be pressured from cars behind. The gap will come to you. Don't take a gap that doesn't exist. It's not done on time. If it takes 5 minutes, it takes 5 minutes. Oh, that was nice. He followed that car out there. Oh, very good. I like that. So he timed it, followed it out as the car came along. If he'd waited for the car to completely clear, that gap wouldn't have been there. Weather's getting worse, so I think we're about 5 or 6 minutes. I imagine we're just going to be done everything now. We've pulled in, done the manoeuvre, done a controlled stop. We're going straight back to the test centre now. So this is one of the run-ins, and as I said earlier, this is a really good idea. Like your last 5 minutes, you at any test centre, you can probably come in a number of different directions. Get used to those, all the run-ins for the last 5 minutes, so when you get to this stage, you kind of rehearsed it time and time again. Not saying you learn a test route for passing your driving test. You don't go to test until you can drive anywhere in the UK independently. That's what the test is going to give you, the result's going to give you. But nerves do tend to get jangling. The pupil knows they've been up for half an hour, they know they've done quite well, they know they're nearly there. This is when the nerves can start to kick in a little bit. So we can do something just to help us a little bit, like the first 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes, and practice those bits. It's just going to help you and give you a bit of an advantage if the nerves kick in. So we're going to go second exit right on the mini roundabout here. Yep, just followed in behind. Now those pedestrian crossings in Kettering, probably where you live as well, they change very quickly to get. So look out for, as you come around the roundabout, look out for people approaching. If they press that button, it might turn around, but you don't want to be driving through that amber light. If it was safe to stop, of course. So the weather's getting worse. Now at this stage, I was back at the test centre, everyone else had come and gone. I get twitchy doing that. I prefer to go out and test, but some people don't want you in the car. That's completely your prerogative. Lots of learners around this area. 30 miles an hour, it's quite a wide road. It's very easy to go speeding on this road, because 30 does feel quite slow because it's quite wide. So you've got to know the speed limit of the road. And we go again. Yeah, we're going to follow it down back to that roundabout at the Tesco's. Nasty 5-way roundabout. This will be full exit right when we come here, and just along a runway and back to the test centre. So this driving test, as I said, was 3 minor faults. 2 were in before we got on the main road. 1 for the slight readjustment, and 1 for getting a bit, probably got a bit nervous because he knew readjusted the manoeuvre, which he's never done wrong before. Then tried to move off in neutral at the test centre. No harm done. Picked up a control error for moving off from the test centre. And then I looked on the sheet, there's 1 for the controlled stops. I don't know what happened there, whether he didn't stop quite quick enough, or did he stall it when he stopped? I don't know. So 3 minor faults, none of them on the general drive. So in terms of the general drive, is kind of what you've tested for after the driving test, fault free. Some really good examples there of taking gaps, holding back, being patient when you need to be patient, going for it when you need to go for it. What a great drive. Now this is the last big roundabout. The weather's getting worse, and the exit on the immediate right is really tucked away. So it's a very difficult little roundabout, this. Nobody seems to signal properly off it. And days like today are the reason why I bought a 4-door car, because when I hear the feedback at the end of the test, I can sit on the back seat. My old car had 2 doors. I have to stand outside in the rain listening to the feedback. So there's a top tip for any driving instructors: don't get a 2-door car. And second exit, follow the road. all the way back to the test centre. And the last couple of tricks down here, this is kind of an industrial estate. You get quite a lot of lorries parked up, coming around the corners, the horrible little sharp bend at the end of the road here. Oh, one last pull. I thought we hadn't pulled over much, so yeah, one last pull over the left-hand side here. Quite a tricky one, this one, because the roundabout is directly behind you, so you've got to move off, and move off quite swiftly, because cars come off that roundabout quite quickly as well. Okay, there, so one last hurrah for the driving test. Following the road. So if it wasn't for a couple of silly little things on the manoeuvre right at the beginning, we would have had a fault-free pass here. But the general drive was fault-free, so fantastic stuff. Another safe and confident learner, got their licence, they're on the road, they're already insured up, they're driving, they're happy, I'm happy. I hope that helped to know what the driving test is all about. Please like and subscribe. We'll be doing a few more of these as and when we have driving tests come along. So hope you like that, and happy learning to drive.
Thanks for watching. For more regularly uploaded videos, don't forget to like and subscribe.